everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the Next Issue podcast. Glad to be back.
Hey, glad
How's
to be.
everyone?
I use the Madman, what's it called? Is it Madman? No.
Madman.
Yeah, Madman intro because there's so much Moon Knight in it. There's so much Moon Knight in it.
I know. I need to add the new cut of Ethan Hawke on the Tonight Show saying that he's Dracula.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god, dude! If that was a twist, I would fucking lose it.
That would be great. Yeah, they
Can you
introduced
imagine?
Dracula
Because
through Moon Knight.
You can't beat Dracula in the Marvel comics. You can send him away for a while. You can steal him. He will always be back. Right now, he's living in Chernobyl with his vampire brood, and I think he's working with Blade now.
Working with?
Yeah. I think Blade's now kind of like they're partners and stuff. It's weird. I'm not caught up on Avengers.
Yeah, it's
but
in
I
the
read
Avengers.
something where Blade.
I was about
showed
to
up.
ask.
Yeah, I read something where Blade showed up and he told the Avengers. I think it was in the Black Panther when T'Challa's trying to tell the Avengers that he's not going to be part of the Avengers anymore, or not the chairman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. I love it.
Dude, it's Jason Aaron, man. Jason Aaron's run on the Avengers is the most fun that book has had in a long time.
It's a little hit or miss for me, but when it's fun, it's really fun. So I will definitely give you that. So today on the show, we're gonna talk about
Kyle.
Who's Moon Knight?
Who's
And
Moon Knight?
instead of Clay just being disappointed, we're actually going to tell you who Moon Knight is. Some of the stuff you should read. We found the list where we're going to tell you probably you shouldn't read this stuff. But it's interesting. Clay and I might have a little debate on whether an issue of Moon Knight we both read is good or bad.
Clay's got thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're going to be talking about real Moon Knight, this ain't real Moon Knight.
We're going to talk about all that stuff.
It's fake. It's fake moon landing night.
Maybe. We'll also touch on a little bit of news regarding to some of the comic books we buy, and are we getting cheaper paper now? Who knows? According to Bleeding Cool, we might be. According to the stuff we bought this week, we might be.
Don't give that site any credit. Just call them BC.
No, yeah, I know. Look,
BS.
I know they put out a lot of stuff, but they are very helpful when I need preview art because they get all the preview. Like they put out all the preview pages for every single comic book.
But they also put a lot of shit stories out too.
I know. So go to them for like stuff that comes strictly from the publishers, where it's just all the preview pages. That's where I pull my assets to do the reviews. But yeah, they're very well organized and they put out a lot of stuff. So yeah, a lot of it is probably not going to be.
If they would just check their facts more,
it's going to be clickbait. Yeah,
it's going to be clickbait. I guess my goal with the Moon Knight conversation is to know what specific issue that passage where Moon Knight's like, wait, Dracula's not an Avenger? That lying bastard. I just want to know what issue is that from so I can go read it.
Yeah, there's many. Clay, and I don't know, maybe you've read Moon Knight enough to maybe know this. Why would Moon Knight be the perfect character to make memes of?
Because I think people don't. I mean, like, okay, so you put in an article from Men's Health about the, which I have questions of in the first place, and then it has an article on 11 best Moon Knight stories to read. I don't know. They're just so fucking wrong on almost every choice that it makes me angry.
Yeah.
People have such a low expectation of Moon Knight. And in his article, he calls him a C-lister.
No.
C-listers don't get their own book and don't have 10 volumes of that book.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a B+ lister.
I would say
he's not a team player, so he's not in a lot of team books, but he's been on a lot of teams. People try to make him work. And he's so very different.
If we were to go back and look, and I would put $10 on this, before the Iron Man movie came out, if we were to go back and look at who had more comics out, Iron Man or Moon Knight,
oh wow,
I would think Moon Knight might have, like, I'm talking about solo standalone series, because
like
I know
Iron Man
has a bigger longevity, but just from the time that Moon Knight started existing to the point right before the movie, I would think Moon Knight had more comics, just more series printed about him. That's just me. If somebody wants to go back and check, if I'm wrong and you can prove it, you can get a $10 gift card to, I don't know, your comic shop or Comixology if you want that. No,
the Infinity
that.
Gauntlet's been thrown by Daniel over here.
Come at me, Moon Knight fans.
Yeah, if you want to look, if you look at the Max Bemis run, that's when they tried, because it was during the Legacy run, they tried to switch from the new numbers to the old numbers. Oh, and he's almost around 200 issues at that point.
I guess I would say come at me, Iron Man fans, because I think I'm in the Moon Knight camp for this one.
It sounds like it, yeah.
I honestly can't tell you a lot of Iron Man fans.
Me neither. Like, Demon in a Bottle is the only story pre-movie.
Oh,
maybe Armor Wars. Maybe Armor Wars.
Well, you see, I have a fondness for when I was in 5th grade for my birthday. I think my grandmother got me like a 1 year, back when Marvel did like mail order subscriptions, and I picked Iron Man.
They still do.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and it's half the price, but you may get a mangled comic in the mail.
Holy! Where do you go to sign up for this? Because I will feel like I'm 10 years old again.
Yeah. Right. If you live somewhere remote and that's the only way you can get comics, they'll still send you comics via mail.
That is fascinating. But the series I picked, and I don't even remember why, other than I like the armor. I picked Iron Man, and it was great. Like the first issue had Morgan Le Fay in it. I'm like, ooh, Arthurian. I mean, it was fun. I don't know, and it had to have been. I think it was just post Demon in a Bottle because he had just returned to the armor, right? So I don't know. I'm not like a diehard Iron Man fan. Don't get me wrong. Tony Stark pisses me off more often than not. But I don't know. There's just some fun stuff back in the 80s. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one I go to beyond Demon in a Bottle is Matt Fraction's run. But he had some cool weird shit in there where terrorists were taking Stark bombs and sewing them inside people's bodies and making making them like human bombs.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
Look, I'm not shitting on Iron Man. I like Iron Man. I'm pulling his book as well too right now. Christopher Campbell is doing some really fun stuff on this series because he's going kind of cosmic. But we'll save that for the Iron Man show.
Yeah.
Before we get into the comics, is there? I kind of stopped watching those like anything Moon Knight after the last trailer we did.
Same.
All the little teasers and scenes. I stopped watching those because I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I don't need any. Like I'm already in, right? I'm already sold.
Yeah. I did watch a little preview that my friend sent that had like Oscar Isaacs and Ethan Hawke, and I do not know the female lead's name. I'm assuming that she's probably playing some version of Marlene in it. And they're all in a waiting room because Marvel has locked down all the secrets and doesn't want them telling. And of course, Oscar Isaac starts talking about it and they have to bleep it out. It's just it's a fun commercial without them having to do a lot, just be bleeped out and not reveal anything and just make you want to know what Moon Knight's about.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of did. I did the same thing with Moon Knight. I did the same thing with Ms. Marvel, and in particular because I keep seeing all these articles coming out about how they've changed her powers, and I'm kind of like, you know what? That bums me up. I don't want to know. Like, I want to go into it cold. I know what I expect from it based on the comics. I just kind of want to see how the MCU handles it. So.
Oh yeah, don't go to the Moon Knight IMDb. There's a lot of names that I don't know, feels like spoilers.
No. Yeah, I feel like if I looked at it, I'd know too much.
I think so. Yeah, you may be able to put a story together based on like all the names that they're throwing out there.
Sounds like Clay probably very, very much could. Yeah.
So, but today on the show, what we're gonna do instead is Clay has some comics that throughout the history of being Clay, he's read.
I just want to break down, like, if you're going to look for Moon Knight books, the Marvel Omnibus is coming out next month. There's also Marvel Essentials. There's also the Epic Collection of Moon Knight. I have all of them.
Yeah.
So I can break it down, and like it's also the quality of paper too, because you're going to get a color book in an Epic collection. Now, the first volume of the Epic collection, the first volume of the Essentials. Now, again, Essentials is just black and white. It's the same stuff that's in the Epic book, and but
so
the only
those
thing,
two books are the same.
yes,
except for the color,
except for the quality of paper and the color, and the number of Moon Knight books that are in it. So, like, if you get Essential, it has the first 10 Moon Knight stories. So the Bill Sienkiewicz, Doug Moench stuff is in here. The Epic just has the first 4.
And what? So in those first collections, what kind of stories what kind of stuff was Moon Knight going through? Like, what was the main thing? Because I feel like now it's a little bit more focused. Like the stories are a little bit more focused in the modern times. But what was Moon Knight doing back then?
Well, see, that's the problem with the first volume is he's in a lot of different books. So he isn't really established as who we will see in the TV show yet. So, like, you get Werewolf by Night. You get his first appearance where he was going to be set up as kind of the antagonist for Werewolf by Night. But he changes. There's like, so you got Werewolf by Night, Marvel Spotlight, Defenders. Steve Gerber writes Moon Knight into the Defenders for like 3 issues. Power Man and Iron Fist. The cool thing that's in these books, and it's also in the omnibus that comes out in April, is that it has magazine stuff that's really hard to find. The magazine stuff, as far as I know, hasn't been digitized. So you're going to get the Hulk magazine, which is like 11. It looks like 11 through 20, without issue 16 or 19. Again, it's so weird that they would collect those and keep out 2 random issues. They may not have Moon Knight, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know why they don't include them. So I can't really recommend the first volume except for the fact that you get the Bill Sienkiewicz, Doug Moench beginnings. And obviously, like, if you're going to get the Essentials, you're going to get more of that. But it's black and white. At times, it's great. At times, it's so terrible. Like,
so,
you get
this on the screen is
look at this beautiful cover that's on the back of an Essential.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the glare, but like, look at that. They reprinted.
That's a Sienkiewicz, right?
Yeah. Then they reprinted on the inside, and it looks like shit.
Good God. And it's inverted.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically, they put the covers in inverted, and they look terrible. That's so essential. You're getting poor quality paper. For some of the black and white Sienkiewicz stuff, it looks great. Sometimes the way they reprinted it, it looks like shit. These retail for $16.99, but are kind of hard to find. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going for a little bit more nowadays because of all the content you get in here. But this is the cheapest one to get. This is the second volume, and I will tell you the difference between the Epic run, which is this book. It does not have the Fist of Khonshu, which has the character that Ethan Hawke plays. And he appears in the second issue of Fist of Khonshu.
Okay.
That only appears in the Essential, the black and white reprint, Volume 2, and the Omnibus, Volume 2. Volume 1 is going to be Doug Moench, Bill Sienkiewicz beginnings, and a lot of one-shots.
Yeah.
So I've... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Well, so all right, so because I also like those Essential collections in the past because they were super cheap. It was a way to get really old issues that were kind of hard to find, and there was also something interesting about them intentionally like stripping them of color. Like if you buy like the Fantastic Four ones or ones that were originally printed in color, right?
Yeah,
it's like they're using different arts, and not different art, but I mean like they're stripping out the color. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
But I was at the comic store yesterday, and I noticed there were a bunch of what appear to be new packaging for a lot of those that are slightly smaller format. So they're not as big. They're a little taller than digest size. And they're full color on glossy paper. And I was wondering if they were going to release a Moon Knight one of those, since a lot of the titles seem to be like MCU stuff. Thor,
Yes,
Avengers, Captain America.
There is one.
Okay, what are those called? I'm trying to find them on their site.
I don't know, but if you go to that Men's Health link, there's a copy of that book in there, because my store had it out in their Moon Knight section. So they have like these kind of explainers that come out that just kind of give you the basics of the character. And I believe they're free from Comixology. I don't know how much they are printed wise. But yeah, you can get basically a recap of who that character is or who they're trying to aim it at. You know, I enjoy just reading all the books and see what they take the best of. Is kind of the angle I'm going for in Moon Knight. But there's a lot of it that I love. So if they leave out stuff, then that's the thing. I'm kind of like, well, you know, this was an important part of the character. I feel like I know there are core characters that are in that first volume that I don't think show up in the show. Like, I know someone's been cast as Crowley because I saw like a tweet. But then, like, where's Gina? Where are the kids? Where's her diner? Like, the stuff that was kind of the staple of the first volume looks like it's completely gone. But I don't know how they're telling the story. So I'm kind of excited that way, too.
Yeah.
Oh, and one other thing is on the omnibus level, where I've talked about, like, Epic has the first 4 issues of Moon Knight, and the Essential has the first 10. The omnibus has the first 20. And let me show you an example of one of the omnibuses, because this is what I'm reading right now, and why they're so much. They're a better buy, but again, volume 1 is $125. Volume 2, another 120. So you've got $250 just to read the first 2 volumes in a nice hardback format. Like, currently, I'm rereading the Guardians run.
There it is.
It's pretty much the perfect size to go through and read. And the quality of everything in here is so much better than an Essentials and an Epic collection. The hardback is nice. The paper's nice. And the reprints of all the covers are fantastic.
Okay, so I found them on Marvel's website. They are calling these new collections Epic collections.
You're right.
But they're a slightly smaller format. And they're only $15. So I'm seeing coming up soon, there's a Conan one, an X-Men Bishop's Crossing one. So is that the one?
This is one called an Epic Collection, but this is different than the one that I've seen that's kind of the promo, which is a smaller. It's actually just says, like, can you pull up that article, Daniel, the 10 best Midnight, and show what the book looks like that I'm talking about?
Which one is it?
Let's see here.
These look to be, I think what they are, honestly, Clay, are new reprints or repackaging of the older Epic collections.
Yeah, I think
but in a slightly smaller format in full color. So,
actually, it's the first one. It's the Marvel Verse Moon Knight White book. It's like $10 at Amazon.
Oh
yeah, no, that's the Epic one. It's the very first book in there that has.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't get a picture of that one. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, see, that's what's weird is that they would call that Epic when this says Epic on it, but calls it a Marvel Verse book.
Weird. All right,
that's why I'm having to do this, because I had to break down every book, because Marvel does. I mean, I don't know who puts together their collections, but you will find runs that will be off. There's no continuity to it. It pisses me off. I mean, I have books that will go in order and then be off. That's it. That's the Marvel Verse book.
Do you think they're doing that because what they're trying to do is package this new release Moon Knight stuff so that it does dovetail with what the show will introduce?
Because they put in Werewolf by Night, and I feel like Werewolf by Night might appear in the show, but that story of them two, I don't know, is on the same level of what Moon Knight becomes in the comic. maybe they're using that piece, but again, not knowing the show, I feel like that's who Moon Knight's beating the crap out of, though. It's him or Vermin.
Vermin. I didn't even think of Vermin. That's interesting.
But Vermin's a Spider-Man villain, so
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, like
He's also a night traveler.
Recently, they have been showed up more and more on the Moon Knight book that I'm currently reading. The Vermin, like not just Vermin, but like the people he turns, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, because he can turn them all into vermin like him.
But if you look at this, that was the punching of the. You see the gold.
You see the legs.
You see the gold anklets on the legs, and I think that's more of a maybe like a Anubis type of jackal thing. That's what I'm thinking because it's in the museum. It looks like that whole sequence takes place in the museum. Or we do know they go to the pyramids as well, right? I think we've seen on the on the previews. So we'll see. All right, Clay. Let's. What else? I mean,
that's really just the first 2 volumes. The big kicker is I know Fist of Khonshu is going to be a big part of this with the gold weapons and the character that Ethan Hawke is playing being from it. That was not one of my favorite runs. I'm very curious what they took from this and what they're running with. The 3rd volume is a lot of Chuck Dixon. It's not one of my favorite times. It's Mark Spector Moon Knight. If anything, you get some Ron Garney art that's pretty great. At this point, I really recommend Volume 1 the most. It's a great place to start. You get a lot of great Bill Sienkiewicz art. The next thing I really recommend is Volume 5, which is the Charlie Houston, David Finch run. Let me see
and that one is getting reprinted soon as well.
This is my favorite run of Moon Knight because this was a guy who came in. This was a guy who came in, took over Moon Knight, and took it into an incredible place of dark crime noir, and I love it. At times, I don't feel like Finch's art is great with it, but it's because Finch does such splashy stuff and not as dark.
Yeah.
But again, there are incredible covers and great artwork from him. It's just sometimes the story, it just doesn't match 100% because Houston takes it really, really dark in there.
They're reprinting that omnibus here. Let me show you the cover.
Oh, wow.
That's the alternate cover. That's the alternate cover because there's one by Finch, but this one from the inside of the mouth of, I don't know, a wolf or a jackal or whatever the fuck that is. Looks super cool.
That's amazing. Yeah.
These man, I'll tell you, whoever's putting some of this new stuff together, like these new collections, like the whole design team for Marvel collected stuff and DC as well, like they're doing some bang up job because I think I've made a decision where I'm not gonna buy the Black Label books individual anymore because the hardcovers are so good. I end up buying both. So I rather have the hardcover that's a book size for my bookshelf as opposed to that large Black Label single. So anyways,
next is Volume 6, which the Men's Health article had this as one of your must read, which is total shit. This is Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev not doing Daredevil. So if you really want them at their peak game, go get them on Daredevil. But Bendis doesn't do a great job with Moon Knight on this. For some reason, he gets rid of all of his personalities and says, well, his personalities are Peter Parker, Captain America, and Wolverine for some reason. And they're in his head. And there is a balance to those 3 characters in the sense of how they would fight and treat villains. But that's not who Moon Knight is. And it's weird that he has those voices in his head. That's who he sees. But again, it's Alex Maleev art. I don't give a shit. I could look at that and it's beautiful all day long. I mean, the covers are fantastic. Again, it's the story that I'm not a big fan of, but there are tons of Bendis completists who love it. So, to each his own.
why does Men's Health explain why this is a must read? Like, what is it?
I don't know. He even got the numbers wrong on
We'll go through the list in a minute because I have all the slides and we can talk. I have the article open so we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can go through each one, but I feel like he put in stuff that was Moon Knight adjacent and not really focused on the character.
Weird.
Yeah.
Right,
so after volume 6 and Bendis, which I feel like you can skip unless you really love beautiful art, is Ellis. It's Warren Ellis, Colin Bunn, and Brian Wood with Greg Smallwood on art. What?
And Declan Shalvey.
Declan Shalvey, yes, because Declan does an incredible job. This is the run that introduces Mr. Knight. Declan Shalvey redoes Moon Knight's costume from the all white to more of a white armor on black, which we see a lot of, and it's kind of become the new look in certain books for Moon Knight. And I really dig it because it just kind of looks like a suit of armor at times. And with the black underneath, it's just very cool. I dig that look.
Yeah, I like the way Shalvey does Moon Knight a lot. Obviously, he does more than. I mean, if you just Google Declan Shalvey Moon Knight, he's probably one of the characters that he draws the most. Just for like, I'm sure people love getting sketches and stuff like that, commissions and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Declan is like one of the big. I mean, for me, he's done so much for Moon Knight as far as design. And even the story in there is a story that's straight out of the Raid and the Raid Redemption. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes.
Oh shit! Josh, you need to add that to some homework and watch this. It is straight up a Moon Knight battling inside of a building, going up level by level, taking out all these bad dudes one-on-one, and there's very little dialogue. It's just fighting. So Declan does all the heavy lifting in that story, and that's one of my favorites. It's just whoa.
Oh, I think we're getting some feedback from Josh's mic.
Yeah,
it's a little crackling. Can you? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's something. Can you reset your mic, Josh, while we figure it out?
Okay.
I'll unmute you in a minute.
But yeah, as far as volume 7, I would recommend this for all the different looks. Greg Smallwood is in there. I absolutely love his art. This is what's weird is when you go from volume 7 to volume 8, Greg Smallwood stayed on, even though you have a different author. Jeff Lemire picks it up, and man, it meshes so well. Like Greg Smallwood, who's doing the Human Target right now, his run on Moon Knight is really beautiful because you're not sure where this is taking place. To read the Lemire run, you definitely had to have read the first volume. You need to kind of know the basis of these characters. I recommend it for the Charlie Houston and for the Lemire. So volume 5, volume 8, have some background going into it. And let's see here. Yeah, volume 8 is obviously the Jeff Lemire run right here. A lot of it looks like it may take place in a mental institution or in his head. And these are the books I kind of love to read when you can't really trust what's going on. Because at times, Mark's trying to figure out who he is and where he is and who these people are that have been a part of his life the entire time. Maybe they just work in the mental institution and have been trying to help him.
Yeah, it has that trope of like, is this real? Is this fake? Like, is this like, that like that Buffy episode where she's in like an institution and she thinks all the whole Buffy TV shows in her head or whatever. So pretty cool. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Is that better, guys? The mic?
It's a little low, but it's not crackling anymore.
Let me hear. I'm just gonna turn this off. Hang on.
Oh, wait. It kind of picked up a little bit, like when you lean forward.
Far away.
How's that?
It sounds good here. I think I can turn you up a little bit too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here I can probably adjust it. Hang on.
Okay.
I just want to do it too much.
No,
it's acting up. Let me just switch to these.
Oh wow, it sounds good.
No, it sounds good now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to touch it. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
After Lemire, because Lemire is volume 8, for some fucking reason, Marvel goes, well, we're not going to call it volume 9. We call it Legacy. Like, who gives a shit? I'm counting. I don't count 8, Legacy 9. So during the Legacy run is Max Bemis telling all the story. I'm trying to remember who was on the art that I really love. Oh, Jason Burrows, man. If you've seen his art before, he does really great stuff. And the thing with Bemis, man, Bemis brings the fucking weird to Moon Knight. Like at times it's too weird for me.
More than Lemire? That's fascinating.
More than Lemire. Huh. Yeah, that's what's wild. It's like he brings
I think
the
it's
really
different
crazy.
kinds of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's
two different kinds of
weird. Now this will be reprinted in April. The Legacy Omnibus will also come back out in April. Here's the cover that we're looking at. So if you haven't read that and you want to, check out your comic book store and all that.
Yeah, the thing about the Bemis run that I'm going to recommend is we all know that Moon Knight has dissociative identity disorder, and the things I've read medically about this condition is that this is brought on by severe trauma as a child. Max Bemis tells that story, and it's fucked up. Yeah, like what could you put into a 22-page story that's so disturbing that would fracture a child's mind into Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, Jake Lockley, and Stephen Grant?
Wow.
So if that doesn't hype that book with the weird and that origin story, I'm sorry, you're not into Moon Knight.
And Max Bemis, like he's done other stuff. I don't know if you guys have read this book, Polarity. That one also deals with mental disorder, and I think a lot of that stuff does come from like personal experience. I don't fully know everything that Max Bemis has been through, but I think that's why maybe he chose to, or Marvel approached him to make a book for Moon Knight. But I think it definitely goes hand in hand. And if you read Polarity, like it is definitely a very weird book, but it also addresses a lot of those things that I think are important, and it tries to explain, I guess, to the best of the comic's ability that you could do on a comic, what some of these disorders are like, and what it's like living with them and stuff. So yeah, I think that's one I'm gonna put on the list of stuff to read. Like out of everything we've gone through, like I don't want to go back and read the super old comics because I feel like I already know the story of what's gonna kind of be there, because there's no through line, right? Like I think Clay was saying, there's no like specific mission, and I feel like comics have evolved into a way where like I want a specific story, I want a specific arc that's telling me what's going on. So, but Bemis might be one that I put up there. You need to step away, Clay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Take me out for a second.
All right. Josh, are you currently reading the new Moon Knight? Is that something you've touched yet?
I'm not, and see, and I was going to say I'm actually kind of the opposite of you, Daniel, which is I only read Moon Knight intermittently way back when, so I want to go back and reread all the original stuff to see how the character gets established. Ironically, I bought all that like 2 years ago in Comixology, and now I'm like boycotting Comixology. So that's why I'm really thankful for the what Clay's going over, because I need to know like what to pick up to read it. So
well, if you have like I don't know $500 laying around, you could buy a bunch of omnibus next month.
You know what's funny though? Is a month ago you could pick up Moon Knight in quarter bins everywhere, and now they are super expensive books. Like at my shop, I was looking at all the Moon Knight like up on the counter. Like obviously a number one. I think a number one was going for over $100.
Yeah.
I have a Scotty Young cover from the Jeff Lemire run, the number one. I think that's a $65 book.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think I have those somewhere. I'm sure those are in my boxes. Every time one of these shows comes out, I'm like, man, I should go through my boxes, see what I have, not to sell it, but just to like, like, do I have it or do I just think I have it because I've read it?
Right.
But I never do. So, all right, Clay, what else you got? No, did you mute yourself? I think you did. Well, while Clay does that, I will recommend. I mean, it's really weird that Moon Knight became. I feel like everyone likes Moon Knight, but nobody had wanted to talk about Moon Knight. Like Moon Knight felt like it was the biggest secret in comics because now, and I'm following a lot of people, especially like I'm on TikTok all the time, and there's a lot of younger readers there.
Yeah.
They love Moon Knight. Like a lot of the modern stuff, they love Moon Knight,
Huh.
but they've also read a bunch of the old stuff too. So like I feel like Moon Knight for some reason is just this character that really attracts. I don't know what the main appeal is. Maybe we'll be able to suss it out more in the show. Other than he looks fucking cool. Like he's just a really cool looking character.
Yeah, he's always been a weird one where you question why he wears all white, but in the comics it's neat because I think it's during the Declan Shelby run where he says, "I want to make sure people see me coming."
Yeah.
Like I love that kind of take.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of shit on Moon Knight and called him like a poor man's Batman and shit like that. Nah, if Batman isn't dealing with his mental health issues, if he was, it would be Moon Knight.
Yeah,
Batman's different with different stuff, more like PTSD from having his parents killed in front of him and stuff like that.
Right. Well, and I just want to I know I've kind of questioned the weird glowing eyes in the costume for the upcoming show, but I want to give them props that they didn't go the traditional route of once you make the leap to screen, it has to be darker. It's all like black rubber. They didn't do that. I mean, they made a fairly faithful costume to the comic for the show, seems like. So.
Well, it's weird because you have this guy who has seemingly died and been reincarnated by a god that we're not familiar with. And so the fact that he gives them powers in the show a lot more to like suit up and stuff is kind of neat because it's not something ever done in the comic. You would think that a deity, if it truly is a deity and it's not a mental health thing, are we seeing it through the eyes of Mark Spector? Are we seeing like when the costume is enveloping him, is he imagining it? And in real life, he's just putting it on himself. There's a lot to go in to maybe not trust the narrator on this.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head is at. And I guess this responds to Darius's question in chat. I'm okay personally with a lack of, say, fight scenes if the story is compelling, right? Like I'm thinking back kind of like to the first season of The Witcher, where there's a lot of trying to figure out what was going on because the narrative was fractured. It wasn't told in a traditional this happens way. Like everything was kind of moving back and forth. And I'm kind of getting the impression that that's what Moon Knight's going to be like. My sense going into it is I think every episode, maybe for like the first 3 or 4, is going to start differently, be a different tone. And at the end of each, you've got him wondering, wait, which one of these is real? Right? Almost like a WandaVision sort of thing where, if each of the episodes is a different personality, right? We, the viewer, are left with like, well, wait, who is Moon Knight? And that's, I think, core to the question of the show itself. So that's just my sense.
Yeah. Here's another thing real quick I want to touch on. Leonard Kim on the chat. My intro to Moon Knight was through playing a game, and I was immediately drawn to him. Oh. So I asked which game was it. It was Contest of Champions. I mean, and I'm here showing the image from the game. Like, yeah, if you look at that, and that's a character that you could play, like,
yeah,
Moon Knight just looks so cool. Like,
that's the Declan Shelby reimagining
with the armor and the. I love that he's got the little moons that he throws and stuff like that. So. Yeah, thanks, Leonard. Thanks for pointing that out because I didn't even think about video games as a way to like bring in people to watch this stuff. Because he's been in some of the recent animated stuff. Like I think he shows up in the Spider-Man, the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon with a very similar outfit to this.
He's back in Marvel Alliance. I think he's in the first Marvel Alliance. You can get him as a teammate.
Oh,
yeah. Let's see.
Is he in? I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. So yeah, Darius responds that that's a great point.
That's a good point. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was only 6. So
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes, so it will see. This feels like it's gonna be a very compressed show to me. Like, it just feels like a
Yeah.
lot's gonna happen.
I feel though we saw a lot of Oscar Isaac's training to be Moon Knight. That if we see the fight sequences, we're going to see them on the. We should see them on the level of what Daredevil did in the hallway scene.
Oh yeah.
Like if we're only given a handful of fight scenes, it better exceed or pass Daredevil on that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And again, it may depend who's fighting, because if you're Mark Spector, you're probably fighting Krav Maga, and you've got like a different way of fighting than, let's say, Moon Knight or Mr. Knight, who's just full on fucking violent. So every character should fight different, and I hope that we see that in the story.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I mean, because honestly, and I'm so glad you brought up the Daredevil hallway scene. If there is one 10-minute sequence like that defines a character, and that's one of 2 fight scenes, I am fine, right? Because that is like a legendary sequence, and you don't need more than that, really. Or I don't, I should say.
I think the coolest thing that we're seeing in the show that isn't in the early comics is Khonshu. Khonshu doesn't show up until later in the comics as a representation of the god and taking over Mark's body and doing with it what he wants. So
I think eventually, hopefully this is a success and we continue, and then we also bring some Netflix stuff back, because one of the things I like the most in the comics is when the Punisher and Moon Knight interact.
Yeah. It's weird how close together they are on what they do.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're kind of not. They're the same side of the same coin, but they're a little bit like they're a different currency, each one of them. Something like that. Feels like
Punisher protects all against evildoers, and Moon Knight protects the Nightwalkers, the Night Travelers. Is his thing. Yeah. And those Night Travelers may be werewolves, vermin, things that maybe Punisher would kill.
Yeah, and it's just very, I don't know, like their interactions. There's a panel where like they talk about like, wait, were you an Avenger? I was an Avenger. Like they just both realized that at some point they were both Avengers, because everyone in Marvel has been an Avenger, right? So yeah, really, really cool. And it depends on the writers. Also, if you haven't read Jason Aaron's current Punisher, like the #1, go check it out. I really liked it. But all right.
But again, Jason Aaron did a great run on Moon Knight that I really recommend, and I believe just came out. It's it's Khonshu takes over Moon Knight, and Moon Knight takes over. There it is,
the Age of Khonshu.
The Age of Khonshu. It's a great fucking run. It is just nothing but fun of that god taking over Moon Knight. Moon Knight taking all the power from all the Avengers, and it's just badass. It's so fun.
All right. Well, Darius has a question. Darius, welcome to the channel. So they say, sorry, I'm kind of new to you guys' channel. Do y'all do watch parties, or will you just be reviewing? Normally, we like to, because we kind of watch it at different speeds. Josh.
Yeah.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Yeah. What happens is we might do a review for the first episode, like just a short video, but then we'll just have a full show of like, we go back and talk about the series as a whole in the future. So if you like that, or if you're interested, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and just stay tuned. But yeah,
I'd love to do a watch along though at 2 a.m. when it drops.
Yeah, hopefully
that would be cool.
Channel grows, we could do some more stuff like that. But for now, it's just that. I think there's really so many people putting really cool content out about weekly stuff that we just rather focus on, like, let's get everyone together and discuss the show as a whole once it's done. Once we've given enough time for people to also watch it, because we hate spoiling things for people,
right?
So yeah, but back to the comics. Yeah, the Age of Khonshu, that was one of the arcs that I really enjoyed in the Avengers run, because I've been hot or cold on it, but that one really, like, I really enjoyed it, because I don't know, like it really shows you how powerful Khonshu really can be when he focuses and when Moon Knight is aligned with his vision.
And it also makes you question who the fuck are in the Avengers if one guy can suddenly start doing all this. Like, where are the checks and balances?
So how recent is that storyline in
It
Avengers?
just got collected as a trade, so it's like within the
it's
past
got to be
year.
like in the last
Oh.
6 to 12 months, maybe. So if you have
Oh
Marvel
wow,
Limited,
okay.
yeah, if you have Marvel Limited, it should be on there now.
Okay.
So cool. I did want to mention there is one more omnibus coming out in April. Is the Moon Knight Volume 2? Whoops, wrong one. Moon Knight Volume 2, which you can see here. So this will be collecting a bunch of things from Denny O'Neil, Doug Mensch, Steve Grant, Alan Sonnets, and then a lot of stuff with art by Bill Sienkiewicz. So if
Nice.
you're interested in that, go pre-order now because those are hard to find. Like once omnibus hit the stores, good luck. There you go. See,
Yeah.
So it goes from 33 to 37.
Yeah, Avengers 33 to 37 of the current run.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, very cool stuff though. It's just pretty.
Ooh, that's a nice cover.
It's fun comics for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Clay, do you have anything else before we get into this list of this Men's Health article? Just to kind of look at it.
Just the last volume is volume 9, and it's the current Jed MacKay run.
Okay.
So and it's a perfect place to start again. Like if you don't want to go back and reread a lot of the stuff, he encapsulates in that first issue so much that's what you need to know and run with it. It got kind of weird near the end of the first volume, like issues 5 and 6. But again, Jed MacKay, I trust in him, and I'm just going to continue to read the book no matter what.
Yeah, and the artist Capuccio on art is just doing some really cool stuff. Like there's some really fun panels there. The covers are amazing. Here, I'll show. I think I got a picture here. This is from issue 6. But I love the premise that he's moved back to his neighborhood. He opens a parish, right? Is that what he calls it?
Yeah.
To protect, like you mentioned, to protect the people at night. So anybody that it's almost like Heroes for Hire, except I don't think he's taking any money.
No,
people come to him with problems, and
like
then he tries to help.
Yeah, like in the first episode, you meet these vampires who have created 4 new vampires, and you realize, oh, vampires are like a pyramid scheme. Like you bring on someone who needs to bring on someone, and then it is so funny to see how much a pyramid scheme is like being a vampire.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Again, that's what's in the current run. I think there are 9 issues out. Yeah, because I bought issue 8 and 9. Do you guys need Moon Knight? Because I've got some double issues if you need them.
No, I'm picking it up, so I should be good. But I don't know. Maybe Josh can use some codes at least to read it.
All right, I'll drop them again.
And if not, if we have enough, like maybe we could do a giveaway when we do our Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. The only other thing I had collected was from Shadowlands when Greg Hurwitz did the book. It was a event book, one-off, a couple of, you got some great art in here.
Oh, that looks sick.
Yeah, it's not essential, but it's a fun read. So I throw that one in there. And that's pretty much my recap. We can go through this list if you want to.
So I found the Men's Health article. So I Googled this as I was prepping for the show. I Googled essential Moon Knight reading because I haven't read as much as Clay. And I found this article on Men's Health of all places by Joe George. So, credit to them. But we're just going to kind of go through the list and maybe like, is it essential or maybe is it just the Moon Knight title that is on there? So let's start with the first 2 issues. I think this is where Moon Knight's introduced, Werewolf by Night, 32 and 33. What do you think, Clay?
Well, he put that in that Marvelverse book as part of, you can pick these up. They are the first appearance, but Moon Knight does vary from there.
I think it was because this, like, they try to put in links. I'm sure it's some kind of affiliate thing where they put links to Amazon so you can, so if it's collected in there, that's probably the easiest way to get it.
Yeah. And like I said, if you pick up Epic, if you pick up Essentials, if you pick up the Omnibus, these are in there.
Yeah. So next up, we have Epic Collection, Moon Knight, Bad Moon Rising, What do you think? Smash or pass, as the kids say, smash or pass.
Shit, it's hard because I like the paper.
That's what kids say.
Listen, get on TikTok, my dude.
I do like the paper that it's printed on. For $40, it gives you a lot. The problem is it doesn't give you the Fist of Khonshu mini that's in the Essential and the Omnibus. I already own the first volume of Epic and Essential, and I'll probably buy the Omnibus if I can find it for cheaper than $125.
All right, you guys in the chat or in the comments, let us know smash or pass on these. Then we have West Coast Avengers 41.
I don't even like. I do love the West Coast Avengers. I do love this run. I don't see why it's essential to Moon Knight. It's Moon Knight on a team. It's not that important. I do want to
find out why he's wearing a cowboy hat.
I mean, that looks more like the Midnight Rider than the Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's true. But he is in the corner box, which I love too.
Yeah. Moon Knight in a team is always weird because he's insane. Yeah. And how does he function with other people who are trying to do the same thing as him? And it probably is true that he is closer to the Punisher than any other hero.
Yep.
He's violent, and he will take out anything that obstructs his goal.
All right, next up, his stint on Marvel Knights. He was in Marvel Knights in a story with Heroes for Hire from 11 to 14.
No, it's just not necessary. Like that Marvel Knights run isn't even, it's an okay book. It's Chuck Dixon. He kind of gets the street level stuff. But again, this guy's just recommending, hey, Moon Knight was with these people and he fights. Does it give any more to the character? Not really. We're still working on it, Lego.
Yeah, just wrapping up a little bit, but we're going through some stuff that could be essential or not. All right, next up, we have
Charlie Houston.
I believe this is volume 5, the bottom. Mm-hmm. So
again, I think this is my top recommendation, but you have to know some Moon Knight background going in. So definitely pick up that first volume, and then I feel like you could jump into Charlie Houston. It's almost like a 20 or 30 year leap of going from like that 70s pulpy Doug Bowench stuff to like contemporary pulp written by Charlie Houston.
I'm going to give this next one as a pass for you, Clay.
Pass.
I'm going to check it out because I want to see the Malieve art, and I want to just know why Bendis approached it that way. So I might check it out in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back and rewatch the beginning. Thank you. But he is definitely a fantastic character. We also talked about how he's not just Batman in Marvel. So next up, Smash or Pass, the Lemire run.
Totally pick this up. This is fantastic. I was surprised going from the Charlie Houston run into the Lemire run. It would go from so much pulp action to so much cerebral mindfuck this book is, and what's going on with him in the mental hospital.
Yeah, I think I skipped one, but anything with Shalvey art, also go pick it up.
Yeah,
or at least check it out, read it. It's fun.
And Greg Smallwood to me is like one of the best finds since Bill Sienkiewicz.
All right, now Crazy runs in the Family Moon Knight by Max Bemis.
This is the legacy run. I recommend it for the people who are fans of the really weird and the people who want to see what kind of fucked up shit happened to Moon Knight as a kid to create all the personalities.
This next one caught me out of nowhere. Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 18, Ultimate Knights. So I guess Spider-Man hangs out with the Marvel Knights.
Why the fuck would you recommend a defunct run
on Amazon?
Yeah, it's cheap on Amazon because it doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. That character is in a different universe that has died, and it's not the Mark Spector of our universe.
Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I suspect the reason why is because the writer is like, well, Spider-Man's hot, and look, it's got Doctor Strange. He's in the MCU, and I guess that Power Fist guy's in there. So let's recommend this one. I really wonder how many of these that writer actually read.
Yeah, this looks like somebody who went to a Wikipedia article.
Clay, did you read any of the Ultimate Universe Moon Knight? Is he a lot different? Do you know?
You know what? I'm trying to. I have the first 6 volumes in hardback. I don't know if that's part of it because that kind of when they started to introduce these one-off versions of like Marvel characters into the Ultimate Universe, but they didn't. I don't know. I never felt that they were really fleshed out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and again, why would you? That's like saying, you know, hey, if you want to learn about Starbrand, go back to the New Universe and read those books. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't give a shit about that. Like you shouldn't give a shit about this version of Moon Knight.
This is their last one, and I think we've already talked about this. So this is definitely a smash. The Age of Khonshu in the Avengers comic. So.
Yeah. In fact, I'm trying to think if this is kind of a cool intro. It may be a little much because of Khonshu taking over Moon Knight, so it doesn't deal with the character more than it has the god in it running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely feels like Jason Aaron wanted to write Khonshu, not Moon Knight, but it's still cool. It's still turned out well.
But that seems to be, like, as an introduction, that seems to be what the kernel of the show is going to be.
Yeah.
Right? So it may be the perfect intro to Moon Knight.
That's true. That's true.
But any version of Moon Knight, I'm excited to see because we'll get another one. If Moon Knight didn't show up, I think in the video games, would we get a TV show? I think there's an appeal for this character that is beyond, his craziness. I think he has a cool style. I think Bill Sienkiewicz, being one of the early creators, helped add to that style.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't see his influence, Bill Sienkiewicz's influence is so much in Legion, and I hope they use that artistic quality in this show as well.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a good point because Sienkiewicz for me was instrumental in wanting to read Daredevil, wanting to read Moon Knight. Like he had a style that just nails those characters, and I will never forget reading Daredevil Love and War, and it's all painted by Sienkiewicz, and you get the kind of Kingpin that shows up in
Spider-Verse.
Thank you. I totally drew a blank, and when I saw him on screen, I'm like, oh, it's the Sienkiewicz guy. Like it was this version. It was wonderful. Anyway, I went way off topic, so that's
fine. Oh no. Now I see you're pulling up a book you want to talk about from this week.
Yeah, damn right. So Clay and I we're having a conversation before the show.
I would say it was an argument.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. we have an audience, right? We have Josh, and then we have the chat.
Yeah, I was out here for the pre-show, so
we'll let them settle our stuff. So Clay did not enjoy reading Devil's Reign Moon Knight #1. I did. If you want to see my full feelings on it, go check out the review on the channel.
This is a key example of a book that is filler. And I'm sorry, Jed McKay, this is a filler book. This does not need to be read at all by anybody.
I disagree because I think this book, so this stuff takes place at the same time of their Moon Knight #8, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry I have to put you through this horrible reader, but that's the only way I can show you. So this is by Jed McKay.
Let me start with one thing.
Go ahead.
I want everyone to count how many backgrounds are drawn in panels. and now let's go look at the book.
So we start out in prison. Moon Knight's been captured by the police at this point during the events of Devil's Reign. Sorry, spoilers for this issue. I'm sorry, but we have to talk about it. So here we have Moon Knight and this criminal 8-Ball. They're the roomies in prison.
Now Moon Knight is the kid that looks like he's 21 years old.
I am already hating this art. What is going on here?
Why are you guys like this?
Because it looks like somebody got this job off of like a manga style artwork.
Yes.
They don't draw fucking backgrounds, and they draw adult men to look like children.
That's why I really like it. The style, I want to see more of this style.
There is no fucking style to it. It is some people, randos, with no background. Look at the backgrounds in these panels. It's a lot of lines. It's a lot of 2-color tones, and that's it.
I don't know, man. Look at this. This corner here looks bad.
Oh, see, I was just sitting here being like, what is going on in that panel? I don't What's
Yeah, it's a
happening?
flashback to when he was captured.
Right.
So he's in prison. I love it. I love this too with the eyes. Like maybe it is because I do like manga a lot more.
I mean,
it has to be because I look at the background and all I see are these fucking lines all over the place, and it's like, are they just in a green building? Oh no, it's yellow now. Are there people there occasionally? There's no sense of where they're at, and this fucking guy looks 21.
This may be the generation gap because
yeah,
Clay and I I grew up not reading manga. It wasn't readily available, and when I see it, I associate certain types of stories with it. And when I think of Moon Knight, I don't think of this style. I don't, and that's on me. I totally get that, but that doesn't. Who is that?
I love that every violent angle has to be. I mean, every panel that has like a violent thing, it's from a like weird angle. Like this one here, like this dude just beating the shit out of him, and of course he had to wrap his head around with the thing.
I'm sorry, but if you go pick up like David Finch and his Moon Knight stuff, you're going to see all sorts of shit going on. You're going to see Frenchie working on the copter. You're going to see all sorts of things happening in the background. You're not just going to see a bunch of lines.
But this is a prison. How interesting a background on a prison could it be?
That's a fair point. That is a very fair point. I will give that to you.
Then okay, but look at the panels though, because there's nothing. It's just color. Like he's just drawing people.
Here's my favorite one's coming up. My favorite thing. This right here. He blows on the glass and then he makes the Moon Knight mask. Oh, fucking love it. And then you go back and realize the reason he went to prison was because he's helping somebody from his parish. It's like it gave me a whole lot of vibes of like, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. Type of like he wanted to be. Moon Knight is where he wants to be at this moment. But yeah, I think it definitely is like the thing where you probably are not a big fan of this art, and that's the thing, right?
That the art right here. Look at this. This is all very manga style. I just don't give two shits. It doesn't make the story better. It doesn't help. I mean, he can't even draw Moon Knight. Like Moon Knight's a grown ass man, and this looks like a kid in prison. Am I wrong?
No, I totally agree with you. I also feel bad because I know that like for the younger generation, like my daughter, this is like the art that she responds to. So I know that as I'm agreeing with you, I feel like Clay and I are Grandpa Simpson shaking our fist at the cloud. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. When you say manga style, I will go to Akira. Akira has detail. This does not. This seems like the Rob Liefeld of manga.
Whoa! That's too far, Clay. I'm gonna boot you off the show.
I mean, okay, wait, but let's think about, because there are two different. Sorry, I'm going off on a weird tangent here. There are two different comic creation cultures between Japan and here, right?
Yeah.
When Akira was made, and even today, a lot of manga artists have studios who do the backgrounds for them.
Yeah.
And and fill in the blacks and those sorts of things. I suspect what we're seeing here, I totally suspect, so I'm pulling this out of my ass. What we're looking at is a younger generation of artists who've grown up with that style, but working in a Western approach where everything is digital. They don't have a studio. They don't have background artists. So that is how that gets filtered down. Again, I'm speculating, but
I don't know. There's a lot of great artists out there who don't have background artists, but they draw it themselves, and it looks awesome.
I don't know. That definitely might be a thing
I don't love to go, hey man, this guy does incredible people and no backgrounds. I love his art.
I will say, if I were at the store and I was like, ooh, Moon Knight, and I picked it up and I flipped through it, I would immediately put it back on the shelf. That is not my cup of tea. And I hate to say that.
Yeah, so. It's hard when you collect a book when they put a shit it's kind of like when R.L. Stine wrote Man Thing. And every week I had to go buy it. I mean, it was like having to stare at shit for an hour. that was what buying that book was. Like, you're not going to read it. It's bad. Then you're eventually going to flip through it and you're going to just hate how much it sucks.
I still say, because every time it comes up, R.L. Stein's Man-Thing is somewhere a porn parody. It's got to be. I don't know how it isn't. But
I also want to bring up a book that came out this week that I felt like the art is suffering. It's another event book that I love the author on, but the art is so terrible in Villains for Hire. Are you reading this, Danny?
I haven't read the latest, but I am. So before we move on real quick,
okay.
Because obviously, look, this is the artist page. I'm looking at their stuff. I think it might have had to do with the fact that maybe Marvel approached them late or something, because they do
it could be, yeah,
pretty dope work. Like, oh, I love this. I didn't know that was him from Radiant, the pink, from the Radiant Black stuff. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do. I do like the first few show. That almost feels like a photo background, but anyway.
But it's definitely different.
I like that one. I like that one too. Yeah.
But they're also working on the Amazing Spider-Man book, and it looks pretty similar, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the way they've adapted their work to the comics. But like, I like this. I might read this now. But we'll see. I definitely understand why you guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is I hate that I'm kind of picking on these two artists this week, but if I'm dropping $5 or $6 for a book, I mean, have the decency to have a competent person or an editor at least go through it and like.
Hold on.
Look at Taskmaster. What the fuck's wrong with Taskmaster? Is he losing weight? His eyes aren't level. I mean,
losing weight.
This whole book looks rushed. You've got, again, we always have the problem with the horn on Rhino in this book.
Yeah,
and his proportions are always weird. The covers look great. I was excited for the story. By this third issue, I don't want to buy it anymore.
Yeah, that one I definitely agreed with you a little bit more. I remember we talked about issue 1 when it first came out. So
yeah, because I was excited for the story. They were bringing in U.S. agent who was trying to basically control these villains who were the Thunderbolts in name and stopping all the heroes from going out and being vigilantes. And then he was coming in and he was going to stop them from committing crimes in addition to that, because they would go to a scene and also rob the place. I mean, they were bad, but then it doesn't seem to continue. Like it was just a cliffhanger point to put on an issue and then go on.
All right. Well, that's been our Moon Knight talk. Before we get into what we've been doing, we did want to just touch real quick. So there was a question this week that Marvel may be using cheaper paper. So I asked the guys to go pick up their pools, fight the good fight for the podcast, and just check it out. Like if they could tell if Marvel paper felt differently. So if you're watching this and you picked up some Marvel books this week, let us know if you think your books look differently. So Clay, what did you pick up?
Is Avengers Forever the
okay.
Jason Aaron multiverse book, which is so damn fun, and Aaron Cooter on the cover art, but not doing the interior art. I don't know. It has this kind of look of like paper drying, where it's kind of like wavy a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like slightly crinkled. Yeah.
Now, did you pick up something?
Well, so it's not from this week. I picked up Excellent #1, but I did it as a comparison point because I was at the shop and I was holding this and kind of going through it. It feels okay. Like I don't have a problem with it. But then I walked around to a bunch of the Marvel books that had come out, and it felt like the quality was all over the place. Yeah. Like one title would feel like this. It kind of felt fine. I picked up Savage Spider-Man, and it felt like it was that same sort of crinkled, and the paper was so thin on the cover that it was the same thickness as the interior paper, so it almost felt like it had no cover, right? Like,
oh yeah,
it was, and so it was just, it's a weird thing. So I can't tell if maybe they're changing printers or they're outsourcing to different printers, and one just really effed it up. But oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Finish.
No. That's it.
Okay, so let me show you what I found. So I have Iron Man, what is this, 18, and then Devil's Reign, X-Men 3. These both came out this week, but I can tell they're different because for one of them you have to reach out to the help desk to redeem your code. For the other one, it comes with the code. So, but look, I mean, if you just hold it like this,
exactly. Wow.
The Iron Man book's a lot floppier. Like it doesn't, like it can't keep its form, and I'm trying to hold it the same.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly it.
So I know Marvel had a paper issue, which is the reason they were, instead of giving you a code, like you had to do this whole thing where you got to go here and redeem your stuff, which is fine. It worked out. But then this one's the Iron Man issue, and it has the code, right? I've already redeemed it. So
yeah, they just peel off.
Don't even try it, internet. But yeah, it definitely feels. You're right. The cover, and I have a scale, but I didn't get to weigh. I can't find it, so I'll look for it. I'll weigh them.
I love it.
They have the same amount of pages.
Yeah.
So ideally, they should weigh the same. So all right. Well, we're probably gonna we ran along with Moon Knight, which is fine. We'll probably do another show of like how these publishers have been cutting costs and trying to save money, or like whatever gimmicks they've used to maybe incentivize more sales. Because Josh used to work at a comic shop. Kyle used to work at a comic shop. Clay, did you ever work at a shop?
Nope.
Okay, but we've been to enough shops we've been reading comics long enough to go through all the gimmicks. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, listen, what was in Nacho Libre? I'm a man of science.
Yes.
I'm a man of science.
Love it.
But yeah, that's our main topic. So thanks everyone for listening. For our audio listeners, go check out our full episode here on YouTube. So that's what will be on the audio episode. Now, for the rest of the time allotted, let's just talk about what we've been into. So let's move into our previously on Next Issue podcast segment. I have a bunch of stuff because since we didn't have a show last week, I read and watched a lot of stuff. So let me start, and I'll go through this stuff pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to you guys. So I rewatched in the last 2 weeks. I rewatched Daredevil season 1 because the show's hit Disney Plus, and I feel like I wanted to set up the pin and all that stuff for mature audiences or whatever. But I watched the pilot, and it was so good that I got enthralled, and I just rewatched the whole thing.
Yeah, we're rewatching it too right now.
It's so freaking good. Go check out. I made a video of my 5 favorite things in season 1.
I really want to rewatch it. I'm kind of, every time these shows are on Disney Plus ad comes up, I'm always like, how many parents can you be like, hey, let's go watch Jared? Oh my God, because they're all hard R. They're very, very R.
Well, it's weird because like Turk is trafficking women in the first time Daredevil shows up, but then he's like a background character in Luke Cage who's playing chess. It's like he has the weirdest evolution because he goes from trafficking women to trafficking guns to kind of being
he's a jack of all trades. He's a jack
of just trying to hustle. But
it's
trafficking human people.
Yeah. It's also fun to watch like all the connections they were trying to do to the MCU before like it was fully disavowed, right? There's a lot of mentions of the battle in New York and the damage in Brooklyn and so yeah, go rewatch, at least rewatch Daredevil season 1. It's so good.
Yeah.
I really want to rewatch Jessica
definitely
Jones.
Definitely worth it. We might revisit it in the future, especially if we hear that there's going to be more Charlie Cox in the MCU or more Kingpin.
Yep.
I would fucking love to see Bullseye show up. I don't feel like we got enough Bullseye there at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I want probably 97% of all those characters. I want them back.
I mean, Alice Eve is Typhoid Mary, man. Right now in Devil's Reign, she's married to Kingpin.
And unfortunately, people love that show Evil, where the guy who played Luke Cage is in.
Mike
So
Coulter.
I don't know if he's coming back anytime soon, but
that's a pretty good show. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's weird as hell.
Really?
All right. I'm also watching. I'm up to date on. There's a new show on Apple TV called We Crashed, which is the story of WeWork, the company with Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. I really like. So I like the stories of like these tech companies that their rise and fall or whatever, or the changes they go through. So I like this. I wanted to check it out. It's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah. I'm also gonna check out I think it's called Supercharged, which is the one about Uber.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah, and that's got
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also want to check out The Dropout, which is about the blood lady.
I'm watching that right now, and it is it's pretty great, but it's weird because you're watching scenes they're making fictional. Except for there is a main character. Stephen Fry plays one of the scientist who does, spoiler alert, kill himself. And so it's kind of a dark, story because I know Stephen Fry has dealt with suicide issues in the past.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
And I mean, this woman wrecked this man's life and he killed himself and she just can't even comprehend. She's such a fucking evil bitch. You kind of hope to see her rot, but she's rich, and so she'll get away with it.
I mean, and all these people, like, at least in the shows that we've seen and stuff, like they are kind of swindlers. Like, right? That's their Even if maybe eventually the company does become successful, like they have this hustle and like this thing where they have to get you to buy into their stuff. So like, I don't have any sympathy for these people.
Yeah. I mean, Walgreens dropped $150 million before they saw a working product. So fucking Walgreens is that dumb.
Yeah.
It makes you scared to get your medication from them when you see them and they're like doing this big presentation for them. And they're like, so we're going to see the product soon. And it's like, they developed these wellness centers around her product and it was always empty.
I watched the HBO documentary on it, the Theranos documentary.
It's good,
which I highly recommend as well too. Also Halo premiered this week on Paramount Plus. I watched the first episode. I liked it. I'm not a big gamer, but I did play Halo back in my day. It's
I heard
fun.
the big problem is that the people who made the game didn't look to the game for content.
Yeah, the main complaint. So Master Chief is played by Pablo Schreiber, who is Liev Schreiber's half brother. I didn't know that. But people don't like that. A little bit of spoilers. Like at some point in the episode, Master Chief takes off his helmet, and I guess people don't like that.
Yeah, because I don't like. He infamously never takes his helmet off in the games, right?
I guess he's like the Mandalorian.
Right. So I've never played the games. I'm kind of interested if I should just watch it then. I have no investment in Halo.
Yeah. Really quick from Leonard Kim, The Dropout has been doing a great job of having me root for Seyfried's character. Yeah, I think she's great.
You sympathize with her a little bit as you see she's taking on more than she can handle, but you also see that she has money enough to crush people and just drive people to kill themselves. And you really fucking hate this person in the end because she has no sympathy. She has no, she feels nothing for these people. If she's just a fucking piece of shit.
Which is the second part of the comment. Then, remember, it's like,
she's a piece.
What's even weirder is like there's a guy who played the shoveler. I'm sorry, I just remember him as
Macy. Yeah. William H. Macy.
Yeah, so William H. Macy plays kind of a counter person to her, someone who knew her family growing up, who develops a way for blood to be transported in the machine. Basically, he creates something that she's going to have to buy in the end, and he's just mad because she didn't come to him early on. But then you're also looking at him going, wait a minute, you're a piece of shit too because your wife's in jail for buying out scholarships. So fuck you too, dude. Like you feel bad for him, but then you're kind of like, oh no, as a person, fuck you.
Yeah.
I also watched a bunch of movies. Some good, some bad.
All right, start with the bad.
I watched Deep Water on Hulu. That's the Ben Affleck, Ana de Armas film.
Okay, tell me, can I watch it or is it total shit?
So, do you like erotic thrillers? I like movie,
her.
This movie, I mean, if you like her, yeah, watch it. You get
sound on or off.
Huh?
Sound on or off.
Look, man. No, I would say on. Yeah. So this movie is so weird. Like, I can see why Disney pulled it from the theaters, and apparently there's like an extra 30 minutes of movie. I like, where the fuck would you even put it? It's already 2 hours. But I mean,
wait a minute. This is the guy who watches Batman for 4 hours in the Justice League, but you can't watch Ben Affleck an extra 30 minutes.
It's just the hot tub scene, right? The extra 30 minutes is just hot tub.
It's also.
I've only seen the trailer.
There's also a lot of sexy time in this movie.
Oh, that's what I figured.
So, but yeah, I was like, I don't think those are my jam. I don't think Aurora. I only watched it because they're in it. I like both of them as actors.
Please tell me we don't get the bat pole in this.
Not that I saw, but maybe there was an implied bat pole.
Did you turn away? Did you do this?
Yeah. I also watched a new horror movie on Amazon Prime called Master with Regina Hall. It's really good. It's about a college. She becomes part of the faculty, and it's like this haunted college. The main thing I liked about it is that it feels like original horror as opposed to like a remake of a franchise that's been around forever.
Yeah,
I am in. So, that sounds amazing. Hey, and I'm going to add it to my
list. The movie
list.
definitely has a lot to say. So if you follow me on Letterboxd, you can get more of that, more stuff.
Okay.
And also, since I couldn't go watch the Michelle Yeoh's new movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, I instead watched her other movie, Police Story 3: Super Cop with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
It's a fucking banger, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. The action is so good. I forgot how great she is. I'll probably end up watching Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yeah, I'm gonna come out for look. I like the Halloween stuff, but not the recent stuff's been not as good.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun fan service.
Yeah, I'm just glad they're doing. I want other horror stuff. Like I want to watch that movie X.
Right.
I think that's probably really cool.
Oh yeah.
I also watch because in preparation for the release of Moonfall on VOD, which is Emmerich's new movie, I went back and watched the movie from him that I hadn't seen. So I watched Stargate, which is on Netflix.
Had you never seen Stargate?
I had never seen Stargate.
Oh my god! It's like the only semi-good movie by Roland Emmerich.
What are you talking about? Did you not like Independence Day?
No.
Oh,
I don't like Independence Day. I don't like Godzilla. I don't. They had a whole run there that was really.
I like that just so it bothers Kyle.
I like The Day After Tomorrow. I love that movie. So
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, that one.
But they have a tendency to make movies that are parallel with. So what was the other Day After movie that came out at the same time as The Day After Tomorrow? Right. I mean, it's like all this stuff comes out at the same time.
I know he did a movie for 2012 this called 2012. That one I didn't like as much.
Yeah,
there was too much driving in a limo for me.
Yeah, driving while the world collapsed around you.
Just not good. If I'm going to rewatch any of them, I will rewatch Stargate. And really mainly just because the opening has a really good recreation of a rock cut tomb in Egypt.
Yeah. So. Now I will say my only once I started watching Stargate, I was like, okay, well once we get past this colonizer shit, then I can enjoy the movie for the sci-fi stuff.
Colonizers.
Exactly.
What's his name?
Kurt
plays the military guy? Kurt Russell. I don't think I'd ever seen him with a buzz cut.
Yeah.
Does he have a buzz cut in?
Yeah,
Is
he
it?
plays the military dude. He's got a buzz cut.
No. I was thinking, isn't he in? It's like
Universal Soldier.
like Universal
Something-
Soldier. It's exactly what I was
that's
thinking
it.
of.
Yeah,
And I think he's
I've
got a
only
buzz
seen
cut
the
in there
sticker
too.
on
Yeah.
it.
or it's just called Soldier. I think it
Is
may
it just
be
Soldier?
called Soldier.
Okay.
Somebody fact check me. I'm gonna just say I'm right.
Yeah. Anyways, you can follow me on Letterboxd for all those big. I wrote a review for each one of those, but really fun stuff at the movies. Real quick to the stuff I read. I read a new manga called "Run on Your New Legs" by Wataru Midori. It's about high school student. He has lost one of his legs. He used to love to play soccer, but now he runs into this prosthetic doctor that wants to build him a new leg to run on, like just to run with a prosthetic leg. So it's kind of about his struggle to like, is this something he wants to do? He meets a friend, and then he realizes that there's a whole world of like, sports for people with disabilities. So yeah, I really liked it. I read volume 1 like in like one sitting. It was really exciting.
That's
so it was
awesome.
really fun. I caught up on the Human Target. I don't know if any of you guys are current. I'm up, read volume of issue 1 and 5 and 6.
No,
Man.
but I love the cover to 6 with Guy Gardner.
Man, so I got the alternate cover because I think they had run out, but it's still pretty cool.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, but man, y'all need to catch up on this series. Because
I know it's a Tom King one that I kind of like enjoying everything at the end.
Yeah, that's kind of where, like, as I was trying to pick what I was going to add to my poll list, I was like, oh, Human Targets. Like, I'll just wait for the volume, so.
Hey, I want a quick shout out to Powell in the chat. He's dropping some chains. This is somebody from the KLC Press Discord from Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman. So welcome. Thanks for watching, dude.
We love
Hey,
those.
nice.
I dropped a link in there. Yeah, so go check out KLC Press. They're doing fun stuff.
They're doing a ton of stuff on their Substack. I mean,
yeah, the Substack is fun.
Podcast, tons of interactions. It makes me wish I had money.
And then also, these are just a bunch of books that I read. You can read some reviews, so I'll just go through them. So I caught up on the Deaths of Wolverine 5. Now, Josh, Clay, I know you guys are X-Men fed up, kind of, but I know you also enjoyed Hoxpox.
Yes.
So now that I've read all this, and I'll tell you, because this kind of leads to my recommendation later. If you only care about the continuation of the Moira Hoxpox story, you only need to read Inferno and this whole X 10 Lives of Wolverine, 10 Deaths of Wolverine. Like, those are the through line for that story that's leading up to the book that I'll talk about in recommendations. So
okay.
So if you guys want to continue and figure out what's going on with Moira, and you don't want to go through all the other X-Men books, you can probably just read those and you'll be good.
I'm going to take the Kyle pathway and just read the Wikipedia entry and not pay for it.
I really appreciate this, Daniel, because I might do that. Like, if I know these are the only things I have to read to continue that story, I think I'll probably do that. So
the thing with me that I've come to realize is the X-Men used to be a team that protected the world, that feared and hated them, and now they're just a team that has dances and balls.
Oh, I can't wait for the upcoming Hellfire saga or gala. It's coming up, baby.
What the fuck has superheroes turned into?
Let's go party, baby.
When was the last time they protected people that feared and hate them? Because they don't.
That's on the X-Men book. If you want us to read that, then read Gary Duggan. Question on the chat. I have read only the first volume of Chainsaw Man, and I can't wait for the anime. It's coming up later this year. It's really good, really good. And the last few things, you can go back and check out the reviews on the channel. Rogues #1, which I'm sure Clay will talk about a little bit too, but it's fucking good. Harley Quinn 13, which is year 2 of Stephanie Phillips writing that book.
Ooh, yes, like Stephanie Phillips.
Yeah, it's a good jumping on point because it stars a whole new story.
Mm-hmm.
Armored Clads #1 from Valiant, which, like I said on the video, I don't support their NFT shit, but this book is good. Ghost Cage from Image, and then one of probably my pick of the week. And I'm sad that Kyle's not here because I'm sure this would have been his as well. Godzilla versus Mighty Morphing Power Rangers #1.
I was waiting for Kyle to talk about this book.
Oh my god. I'm sure we'll talk about it more next week when he comes back. But if you like Godzilla, if you like the Power Rangers, if you had a big toy box and you used to just smash your action figures against each other, you want to read this book. Cullen Bunn, like really good stuff.
Love Colin
Freddie
Bunn on the
Williams the
show.
second. Yeah, Freddie Williams the second. He also did Batman TMNT crossover on the art. Yeah, go get that Godzilla comic. It's a lot of fun. There's also a fun one coming out, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah in a month. So you may want to
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And,
I just like how. Oh, sorry, Clay. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to bring up that Hasbro has put together an RPG system for these properties.
Yep.
I would love to have a game where we all took a Hasbro property and fought each other to the death.
Oh,
Dude,
cool.
I'm in because I want to pick up. I have a weird fondness for G.I. Joe. So I want to pick up the G.I. Joe one. But they have a Transformers, Power Rangers, My Little Pony is coming out from them as well. Which is weird because it is its second RPG line in at least a decade.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I love that idea. I think that's great because they all use the same system, which is an in-house system.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to
the
see
last
Godzilla
thing-
versus My Little Pony.
The last
That's
thing,
bound to happen.
I finished the Batman prequel novel.
And
Oh, wait, no pictures?
No pictures. I listened to it, so don't get too
Oh,
excited.
okay, gotcha. That's cool. How is it? Because I've heard it actually leads a lot into the movie, right?
It's like Batman Year Zero,
Okay,
like
all right.
from the movie, because the movie takes place year 2-ish. So yeah, it's a lot of Year Zero.
which would be
Uh,
2010.
yeah. Once you watch the movie, I highly recommend it. It's only like a 3-hour book on Audible.
Oh,
So it's not that big of a commitment, which is why I was like, took the plunge. And then I also made a video of 5 things we find out from the prequel novel about that we didn't learn in the movie. So and one of them has a tie to a greater DC universe. So I'll leave it at that.
have they announced when that is coming to VOD?
April 16th will be on HBO Max.
All right, cool.
Okay, I can wait. I can wait.
I can wait too. Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, that's why I haven't planned the Batman show, because I want not just you guys, but more of the audience to actually be able to safely watch the movie from home. So yeah, once it's on HBO Max, we'll have a couple weeks to watch it. I'll rewatch it a bunch of times.
Yeah, we've
and
tried
then we
to
have a whole
plan
show
to
left.
go to the drive-in. That's the one place I think I could sit and adjust my chair and
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
a whole movie.
Yeah. All right. So that's all. So I've been busy, but if you follow me on social media, you'll know everything I'm doing. All right. Josh, you want to go next? I see some.
Yeah, sure. In utterly shocking, unexpected news, your boy read comics this week.
What?
I know. So I caught up on Saga. I read issues 56 and 57, which just came out, and or maybe last week it came out. But man, I tell you, this book is so good, and I'm just so worried what's going to happen.
What?
But
What's going to happen?
I don't know. I have really bad feelings about what's going to happen, because this ends up where Hazel's mom is going on like a solo mission. But I do just want to point out, I love we finally meet like the emperor of the robot people, and he's just a giant screen TV. I don't know how he doesn't fall over all the time. I really love that.
It's thick. It's not a thick.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's thin. Yeah, true. But it's so wide. It's like, how does he get through doors?
I read the first one of Saga back, but I like reading Saga in trade, so I'm just gonna wait. Oh,
we lost Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I'm kind of, well, I'll discuss that in a second. I also, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to read Excellent, because I love Mike Allred, and I read a little bit of Ecstatics back when it was out. I also like Peter Milligan. This is such a weird book. I mean, and I say weird not because it's Milligan and Allred and a spinoff of Ecstatics, I have no idea what's happening. And I think because this seems to be a direct continuation of the end of the last series, right?
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it seems that way to me. Now, what I like is where they're kind of doubling down is this new team, Excellent, led by this guy here. It seems to be a really interesting continuation of the whole what happens when superheroes and pop culture and mass media mix. And so this new team is protecting free expression on the internet.
Yeah.
And it just, I feel like there had to have come a moment where Milligan and Allred were like, okay, we're at the point with the internet and online culture and, you know, quote unquote cancel culture and kind of that whole thing. We need to bring them back, right? We need to bring them back and talk about this. So it's a really interesting approach that is very true, I think, to the original concept of the book. Like there's a whole, I guess spoilers for this, there's a whole sequence where on social media, the new team, Excellent, create their own fake series of events in a video. So if you look carefully, those are other actors, quote unquote, playing the Ecstatics team.
Oh,
it's not funny. Really them. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. It's fun. I'm always in on Allred, Milligan kind of doing their thing. And I was so disappointed in X-Ray Robot that I need some Allred art that won't make me angry. So that's also nice.
I love Nightcrawler and Blink showed up in the book too.
I love Nightcrawler and Blink. I like Nightcrawler in particular. He's just like, yeah, I don't agree with your views, man.
Yeah, because I don't think Allred has ever drawn either of those characters.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's see.
I don't think Allred has ever drawn Nightcrawler.
I'm trying to find that. Oh, here it is.
And I don't know why he would have ever drawn Blink. That would be really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. A pretty cool Nightcrawler. I would dig him doing a one shot or something with him.
A team up with Ecstatic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
With him not knowing that they all die, he's the last one at the end of the book. That would be funny. He'd just be like, "This never happens."
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. He teleports away and comes back, and it's like the end of Hamlet. They're just all dead. You know, it's like, wait, what's going on here? Exactly. I did also just very, very quickly. I did also finally watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the Val Kilmer, Robert Downey Jr. movie by Shane Black. It is such a fun film. There are tiny nitpicky things I have with it, very minor. But it's fascinating to watch a movie and realize that is, for Downey Jr.'s career, that is the pivotal film, because he had just gotten out of jail again. And Shane Black cast him in this, and he's so good in it. Him and Val Kilmer have amazing, amazing chemistry on screen that I believe it led pretty directly into like Feige and Favreau being like, oh, he could totally be our Tony Stark, right? Even though he's playing a very non-Tony Stark kind of character. He's playing a goofball, really, but like a goofball with massive heart. Right. So
he opens the movie stealing a Christmas gift.
Yes, exactly. The wrong Christmas gift, by the way, which I really like.
And he does great voiceover.
He does. Yeah. His, the constant, it's a good use of an unreliable narrator that is cognizant of being unreliable, which you usually don't get. It's good. It's great. Highly recommend. 2005. There is weird. My wife and I kept saying, like, when was this made? Because it has that late 90s homophobic quality to it that
Yep.
It just feels much older than it should be.
Yep.
So I was kind of shocked to see it was like from 2005. So I was kind of curious when Black wrote it, if it was written much earlier.
Yeah.
I do want to see The Nice Guys. I've always meant to watch that movie.
Oh my God, The Nice Guys is so fucking good, dude. Like you should
That's what I've heard.
You should just go through all of Shane Black's films. They're all fucking awesome.
Yeah, I only finally watched Iron Man 3 when my daughter did her MCU run this summer. And I enjoyed it. It's great. It's not
I think Iron Man 3 sorry to interrupt, but it got a lot of bad. It got a lot of bad rep from just people not enjoying the twist. But overall, the movie is like pretty solid.
The movie is solid, and I think the twist gets redeemed thanks to Shang-Chi. Right? That completely. So if you take those two now together, I wonder if there's going to be people revisiting Iron Man 3 in light of Shang-Chi and being like, oh, this is actually really great, you know? So
yeah. And I never disliked the twist. I thought it does feel like something that would happen in the modern world where like it's more of a scam.
Yes.
Like we just talked about all these people scamming people right into their big Silicon Valley businesses. Like it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So
and here's also the thing I really like about the twist in that is a twist that both is faithful to the tone of the story being told and an honest twist for comic fans, right? Because if you go into it, you're thinking, oh, we're finally getting this character, and then that's the twist. So I get why like fans were upset, you know, like they were promised X, they got Y. But how often do we get a true twist like that in a movie these days that works, you know, that legitimately works? So
you're making me want to go back and revisit Iron Man 3.
It's pretty solid. I dig it. And then finally, I was just going to say, because again, after I ranted about Comixology, I don't know, last time or the time before last time, I've given up. I canceled all my subscriptions, and I'm going to, for the first time in 30 years, get a actual pull list at a comic shop. And I just wanted to share what was on my pull list.
Yeah, I guess if you didn't know who the Mandarin was, there's no big issue.
Yeah, exactly. But if you do know, then again, you're kind of shocked when you get the reveal.
The Mandarin's not a character from the Mandarin from the 70s and the 80s. Is not a character we should be defending anyway.
No, so, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Character. Yeah. That was also a great way for like them to bring him in and still like not.
And it's been fucking Kingsley. Like it's been fucking Kingsley. Like shut up.
Yes.
I mean, he was gone for God's sakes, and now he has a cat thing called Morris that has no mouth or
when I want to giggle, I just think of the whole Planet of the Apes discussion from Shang-Chi, and I cannot stop laughing. It kills me every time I think about it. Yeah. Every single time.
Yeah. So good.
Okay. Anyway, I was just going to point out, I actually have a pull list of titles I'm going to get. So on that are, of course, Excellent and Saga. I will continue getting those. And I liked your point, Daniel, about reading Saga in volumes. I do too, but also I'm so invested. I don't want anything spoiled for me at this point. So I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to get the single issues and then probably sell them off when all the volumes come out, and I can just have them in bound volume. Cool. I also plan to get Public Domain, Chip Zdarsky's book that comes out.
I'm a Substack subscriber of his, so I've been reading that book. I really,
really
okay. Like it. Yeah.
Is it good? Okay. I'm going to get just kind of mainstream stuff. I'm going to check out Al Ewing's Ant-Man when that comes out. I totally stumbled across the upcoming Clobbering Time series. Have you guys seen this?
No.
It is The Thing partnering with just different people every issue, apparently beating the shit out of stuff. So the first one is him and Hulk. It was in previews, I think, coming out in the next one. So it's being solicited now. So it'll be out fairly late, I think like July. There it is.
I think this is the first. I love it.
It looks fun. It looks super fun. So I'm gonna subscribe to that. And then kind of the weirder stuff. I just noticed that there is going to be a new John Carter of Mars comic, and I don't know. I've got a weird fondness for old pulpy stuff. So
Yeah, they've done it so many times. It's weird that they keep redoing it.
I think it was because it's like the 30th anniversary or something from John Carter of Mars. I don't know if it's a book. I don't know when the book came out. There was an anniversary recently.
It was like Burroughs books came out in like the
then maybe it's
early 20th century.
Maybe it's the movie that just had an anniversary.
It could be. Or is it like the 100th anniversary of the book? I mean,
something. Yeah.
They're old. I mean,
they're really old.
John Carter's an ex-Civil War soldier. So like,
oh shit. Okay.
Fresh off the Civil War. So which they do in the movie, which I kind of respect. But and then I know this is stupid. I really shouldn't do it because I hated the last D&D comic series, but I'm gonna subscribe to D&D Ravenloft only because it has callbacks to Frankenstein, and I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta do that. So that's my upcoming poll list.
Artist and writer?
I didn't recognize either name. Hang on, let me.
Oh, okay.
But that's kind of par for the course for me because I don't know many new creators. Let me see. Hang on. It was in previews. No. This is giving me all the. There it is. Hang on. Orphan of Agony Isle, written by Aaron Harvey, art by Bailey Underwood and Corin Howell. Again, I don't know any of those names.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just hoping maybe it would be someone we'd recognize.
But the first sentence is Frankenstein meets D&D, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll subscribe. So anyway, that's my upcoming poll list. Not really what have I been doing, except what I've been doing is trying to figure out what comics I want the shop to pull. So
cool. All right, Clay, what do you got?
Like I showed earlier, I've been doing the reread of Guardians of the Galaxy, the Abnett landing run, and starting to put together a collection on. I don't know what you guys use to keep track of all your comics, but I have an app that I use, CBZ.
ZLZ?
Let me pull it up.
Is it
CLZ?
Yeah, that's the one I use.
Yeah, CLZ. I don't know if you can.
I use them for books, not comics.
Too much glare.
Yeah, you can't see that, but
too much glare.
It's a great app. It's really
good.
But
you can. There's a link you can share for us to see your collection.
That's true. I'll put it out at the end.
Yeah, put it in the Discord and we'll share tweets.
So I've loved Guardians of the Galaxy, not the old one that Kyle loves, just the more of the new one because he hates it. Just the team from the movies and this is kind of the beginning of that Guardians team. They aren't even called the Guardians at the beginning of this book, and it is all. I mean, it is way different from the characters in the movie. Quill is more of a leader and less of a goofball. Rocket is not as angry. Groot is different in a lot of different ways. Gamora is a little more sexualized, and that's weird. And Drax is still kind of Drax, but he's used well as a character in some of the story stuff. Then I discovered I have so much Guardian stuff. I think I'm going to try to make a run for an entire collection. Like I think I have less to collect than I do of X-Men.
Oh, cool.
Wow!
Yeah, my X-Men run is really the gaps I'm missing are from 1 to 94, but on Guardians run, I mean it's maybe $50, so I might be able to put that together. So one of the fun things of that app is you're able to also note what box you've put stuff in. So if you've cataloged stuff and you're trying to redo it, I bought a Guardians box and just have that stuff in there. And nice. So when you put it, so you can actually catalog all your books, note what box they're in too, to help keep that straight. So even though I have like half my stuff cataloged, I was able to go through, add stuff to it, and put it in a location so that I knew that was good and complete.
That's neat. Yeah, I think even if you have like a spreadsheet with your stuff. I think there's a way to import that into ZLC. I've never tried it. I just went and scanned everything by hand like a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
So,
and the best thing for the app is it has a barcode scanner. Now, I've had that app for so long that I've been grandfathered in because I was like, it gives you some other options to give you statistics, to pull issues that you're missing. So, like, if you have cover 1A, it'll show you all the alternate covers that you missed and stuff if you're into all the variants. But you have to pay like a subscription fee of but it's only like $15 for a year. So it's not that bad. It's like $1.50 a month. So it's not that bad, but it helps you put together lists if you're trying to quest for books or appearances or things like that. It even will tell you, like, it was funny, of all the catalog comics, which I have like around 6,000 comics cataloged, it was like 5,000 of them are pretty useless. And the rest, it would say first appearance or story arc. And that was it.
Yeah,
like,
it tells
those
you
are
it's like a key issue or whatever, and it'll give you an estimate of like what it could be worth based on whatever source it pulls from. And yeah, we love data aggregation in this podcast. So
yeah, but you also have to enter in the prices. It didn't pull in the prices for me for some reason, so I tried to do the key update so that it would tell me like how much your estimated value of your collection is. But I didn't get it to do that. So
we'll share our stuff on socials. I think it's fun to check out other people's collections.
Yeah,
cool.
Got one of my last Kickstarter books this week from Liam Sharp. And I mean, this is a beautiful book. I got to tell you, the coolest shit is having a Batman doodle and an autograph on his gold edition.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I mean, I could just open to a random page and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Such a well-done book.
I mean, it's totally worth it. The other cool thing is that it came with a comic that has 2 stories within one. It's just, you flip it over and there's a whole nother story in there of a new book that he's launching through Image. And so it was only available through the Kickstarter. That was cool. And again, it's just beautiful. It looks like multimedia. It looks like paint. It looks like he does pencils. He does a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love his art, and I have loved his art since I discovered it in Strange Things when he did Man Thing back in the day. And so I bought up all those, and then now I think the latest book that I kind of rediscovered his art was Green Lantern, working with Grant Morrison, who wrote the intro.
That's right.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, he wrote the intro to the book too, so you get that. It's just fucking cool as hell.
I love that Green Lantern run. That's such a good run.
Yep.
Yeah.
We already talked about Devil's Reign. I love the Devil's Reign, the series itself. I felt like this could easily have just stood by itself. The way Dark Ages came out, the Tom Taylor Dark Ages story is an enclosed miniseries of other characters coming together. Devil's Reign could have done the same thing. We didn't need these spin-off books. They're not good.
Yeah,
they're not worth the money.
All the times are really not affecting the story overall. They really are.
And I hate when they do shit like that because you didn't need to write that Moon Knight story. You could have included it in the Moon Knight run, which they did. They did have a tie-in, but why have it's just fucking. I don't understand the mentality at Marvel a lot other than put out another book, it'll make money. That's the only thing I see in their way of thinking. It's very frustrating to buy books from them.
Again, I mean, I think they so often, like, I would suspect that editorial discussion was, hey, we're doing this big crossover. Hey, Moon Knight's about to come out. Let's just slam them together. So
yeah, and I don't know. A hard fucking pass on Villains for Hire and that Moon Knight standalone.
You know which one I hear is good is the Superior Four, the
really?
Octavius book. He pulls like other Octaviuses from other universes. One of them's a Hulk, one of them's a Wolverine.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I hear that
I
one's
mean,
really good.
The Masters of Evil in this book is what's the funnest part, is seeing the evil Octavius, the evil Wolverine, like shit like that,
So,
and
once
knowing
those
they
are
pull
on,
other shit.
once those hit unlimited, I'll check it out.
Yeah. As far as TV stuff, we started watching Our Flag Means Death.
I was gonna bring that up. We're almost done with it.
Okay,
but
we just started episode 4, where
keep going. It's so good.
Yeah, so what I understand is, like, the first 3 episodes, everyone kind of says, well, you could have skipped those, but it kind of sets the foundation for when Blackbeard joins them in the 4th one.
Yeah.
And that's where the story kind of takes off. It got a lot better and just kind of was popping once that episode hit. And so we're going to try to finish it up this week. But
absolutely agree. It's a bit of a slow burn. I don't think it has the kind of immediate appeal of what we do in the shadows, or you can watch that first episode and you're like, oh, I get what they're doing here and this is hilarious. This is, you really have to build up to that 4th, 5th. It gets even better. I'm warning you, by the time you get
Leslie
episode
Jones is in it.
Oh God, no, it just
Fred Armist is in it.
Where the story goes is just so amazing. It's great. It's so good.
But when you watch Taika in this is one of the things where I go, Taika is just fucking owning it in this. He's doing such a great job. Yeah. And then when you watch a show like Free Guy, you go, oh, that's what Taika is when he's walking through it.
I remembered you saying that as soon as he shows up in this, and I was like, oh shit, Clay was absolutely right. Like, he really was phoning it in Free Guy. And this, he's really putting his, like, a lot of effort into how he's portraying Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to Ryan Michael, also from the KLC. Thanks for watching, dude.
Damn, how many? You got a fan club joining us?
Well, I put it on the Discord. There's a Discord for it. I was like, guys, if y'all come in and throw chains in the chat, I'll give you a little shout out.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, because that's what they do on Ryan's streams. They'll like put chains on the chat. So yeah, I mean, okay, I'll have to check this out from you guys talking about it and Ryan talking about this in the comments. I don't know. I've been a little HBO'd out, but I wanted to watch that and DMZ. I want to watch both of those things.
Don't watch DMZ.
The fact that they cut it down to 4 episodes and then it's now a miniseries and that's all you're getting.
First of all, it's a Brian Wood property. Don't help that piece of shit out.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that's the thing. But I do like Rosario Dawson and Benjamin Bratt. Like, I like the people that are in the show.
I do too, but
sorry, just let me address it.
I'm a Legoland. Thank you for asking.
So yeah, kids love chains. That's something that
Donnie Cates
Todd McFarlane said, and that's what Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman named their company. So yeah, chains in the chat.
Oh, KLC, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah. So
hopefully you didn't think KFC.
I was kind of thinking KFC actually, because I'm also very hungry. So
for my other podcast I do with Mark once a week, the Unsocial Spectators, so we picked a movie from 1972. My movie was Silent Running. I absolutely love Mystery Science Theater, and Silent Running is the inspiration, or partly an inspiration, for Mystery Science Theater. You know, a guy stranded on a ship. You didn't know this?
Oh, I didn't know this. No.
Yeah. This
no way. That's amazing. All right.
Yeah, Joel has come out and said that Silent Running was the inspiration. Obviously he builds his own bots and does everything. It's a very weird movie to watch. That's 3 years removed from the moon landing and so pessimistic about where the Earth is headed. But yeah, Bruce Dern fucking rules. He's good in this, but the thing is, with this movie, he's supposed to be kind of this botanist. They portray him as a hippie, but then to keep this area alive, he has to commit an atrocity that sticks with him, and it's more about the atrocity than the purpose. And I think that kind of skews away from what I felt like it should have been. I felt like if he had just taken and run with this, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. So I know for a 50-year-old movie, but it is a fun watch. And Bruce Dern, has to do a lot of the heavy lifting by himself with these robots, and that's where I found out the robots that they built for this are paraplegics. They're paraplegics in the suit.
Really?
Who are Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the robots he has walking around. And Douglas Trimble is the director on this. And if you don't know Douglas Trimble, you know his work because he did the special effects for 2001, Blade Runner. His robots in this, George Lucas even came to him and said, R2-D2 is going to be a lot like your Huey, Dewey, and Louie robots. And even though he's not, you can kind of see the two-legged features that are kind of what R2 could do. He even has the arm that would stretch out and do stuff.
Wow.
It's a great examination of a man's purpose and loneliness as he kind of breaks down in space.
So sort of
like Moon?
I was gonna say like 6 of the Martian, 6 more of Moon, and
it's very much in the sense of Moon in that he's working for someone and has this purpose, and then discovers out how he's being used by the company, and it fucks you up a lot. It's a really great movie. It's timely. I just felt like the character was too stuck in a place where they wanted to shit on hippies and still paint them in a kind of negative portrayal.
Yeah.
Last thing, I did a rewatch of the Batman films from 89 to 97. And wow, revisiting Batman and Robin is like having another kidney stone.
So that's Batman 1 through that's 1 through 4, right? You would
yeah.
call them? Okay.
Yeah, and so it's very weird. Like the first 2 are pretty great. Watching Michael Keaton is great, and because you get to see him evolve now from Birdman to Vulture. I don't think if he ever played Batman, you would never see him in a villain role. You'd never see him in a Pacific Heights. You wouldn't see him in these the movies he's doing now, because people saw him as a dark person finally. For all you kids out there that are younger than me, I need you to go. Your homework this week is to watch 2 films, Mr. Mom and Night Shift. I want you to go.
I love Night Shift.
I want you to watch these and think of the Vulture that you know from the Spider-Man movies playing pure comedic roles, because Michael Keaton was a stand-up comedian. He did stand-up and then eventually got into these movie roles, and now everyone knows him as Batman, the Vulture, Birdman. I mean, this dude is awesome, but seeing his comedy stuff is fantastic.
If you go and I there's got to be like YouTube compilations about this, or even just go through like newspaper archives. When Warner Brothers announced Keaton was going to play Batman, the fan backlash was intense. It was like, he's too short. He's a comedian. Why are you ruining my child? I mean, it was internet.
When Heath Ledger, when we saw the Heath Ledger Joker makeup, people shit all over that. It was that level of like, you're fucking ruining Batman, and people said that about like Michael Keaton.
They were kind of like this. You want to get now?
And again, that's a Jack Nicholson film. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you grew up with the Schumacher films, I definitely get it. That's kind of what I grew up in, so I don't dislike the films. I understand why people do, but I don't dislike them.
But like the butt shots and the nipple shots.
Really watch. I would be intrigued for everyone to do what Clay just did, right? When you watch Batman 89 and Batman Returns, and then your next Batman film experience is Batman Forever. I remember being in the theater watching the opening of that with Two-Face, played by Academy Award winner, Tommy Lee Jones. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so campy. Like what, like it's night and day going between those movies. And that's not to say that, going back and rewatching 89 and Returns don't have levels of camp. They do, but it was such a culture shock.
The plots are so fucking dumb though. Like Mr. Freeze has to go get diamonds that run his machines that are fucking dumb.
No, that
You
makes sense.
know, yeah, and then
That's your science, Clay.
Yeah, exactly. He had
I'm
to science the
sorry.
shit out of it.
What if I told you Michael Keaton is Batman in 2022?
Oh, that's
man.
a good point, Legoland. That's a really
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I
because
can
Oh,
totally
what a fucking whiplash.
but Joel Schumacher also gave us the Bat card. Don't leave home without it.
Look,
You know?
I had the toys. I had the toys of the Ice Batmobile. Like, so I have a special place for those movies. There's some stuff that I find endearing in a lot of that stuff. Like this, like I love this now. Like the little Toby dance.
I
So,
still can't get through that movie. I just can't do
but
it.
I get why people sometimes may not like it. Like I'm not pushing those movies on anyone. But let's see, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are clear Schumacher.
And
I
I totally agree with that, Ryan, because I feel like
Yeah.
when they brought Schumacher in, Schumacher was reflecting back on the 66 series. Now, I will happily watch the 66 series. I love it, right?
I mean, he does totally rusted metal Batman. He has huge, big traps that are, you know, he has to escape from. I mean, he takes it to the next level of having those, like the safe pulled out and put back in, which did more than the TV show. So he does take it to another level.
They were for kids.
I would say, so if you know, Clay and I are old. If you grew up watching from Batman 89 onward, it's remarkable how much those movies immediately reinvigorate comics as a viable adult property, and then under Schumacher immediately kill that. Right. I mean, it's just like it is the biggest peak I've ever seen in, like, you know, so we don't get a Batman film again until, you know, The Dark Knight.
2005.
Or not Dark Knight, I'm sorry.
Batman Begins.
I did find this other gift fun. I wanted to share it.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Oh, I love those
I have to go back
animated
and rewatch the movie to see if that's a real thing, but if it's
It
a real
is.
or
No,
not.
yeah, that's a scene straight from it's basically the Joker surprises Vicky Vale while Bruce is at her apartment, and Bruce realizes I can't do anything here. So he's basically just trying to, like, out crazy the Joker. Right? I mean, that's the whole scene. So
yeah, I think for the first film version of Robin, it's pretty terrible too. Robin doesn't come across very well. And I'm very curious.
Do their laundry like that?
That's how I do my laundry all the time.
And especially reading the Batman 89 series now, I would have loved for that Robin to be on screen.
Yes, I would have loved to see
It's phenomenal.
Robin, that version, if that would have changed Joel Schumacher's Robin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like we can go on a Batman tangent for another hour, but we unfortunately have to wrap up the show. I'll read this comment and then we'll move along. Super true about adult versus kids. Some comics are for the youths and some are for adults, like animation and TV.
And they're both legit. Like when I shit on the Schumacher stuff, I'm not shitting on it for the adoration kids have for it. It was just not for me at that time.
90s stuff. Everyone had leather jackets in the 90s, right?
And earrings.
I mean, you went from the Joker who would randomly kill people to the Penguin who took names pre-internet, wrote down all the names of the children of the rich people of Gotham and was going to kidnap them.
And bit a guy's nose off.
Bit a guy's nose off. I mean, to Enigma's plan of putting a box in every house. I mean, he basically was like a cable provider. He just wanted to manufacture boxes. He would manufacture these boxes, put them in houses. I was like, Enigma's starting a business. He could get a small business loan.
Cable guy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Before we move on from Batman and the recommendations real quick, I forgot to show you guys one thing I bought. Hold on.
You got it. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's for your collectible cards.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice, man. I like that.
Super
That
cool.
is really cool. I really love that Jim Lee art. I kind of wish. Yeah.
So, all right. To close off the show, let's do some recommendations, and I'll get us started because it's just two quick things. Oh
Like
my
the
god,
cable
oh, here we
guy,
go.
exactly Legoland.
Yeah, like the cable
He
guy.
was cable guy in 2 films.
The first thing I will say, yeah, Mr. All those books behind them. I don't know if he's read them all, but he's
I'm gonna say
trying.
Oh,
yes.
me?
Yeah, you, Mr. Sensitive.
I have not read all of them. No, I've read most of these. These are all my comics, and I'd say about half of these. So,
Well, you know, Josh is also a professor. So some of those are for reference, I'm sure.
yes, absolutely.
All right, my first
Reference.
recommendation is going to be Immortal X-Men #1.
Boo! No
Because,
kidding.
of
Sorry,
course,
go ahead.
Karen Gillan.
It's gonna be a hard sell. Let's hear it.
Karen Gillan, Lucas Wernick. Well, I mean, this is just a follow from the events that just wrapped up in 10 Lives and 10 Deaths of Wolverine. This is what happens now in this new. It's called Destiny of X. As you can see in the picture, Destiny's back, and she's got a seat at the council. And there's more and more shakeups. So, yeah. Now the other thing I'll recommend is because it's wrapping up this week. Dark Ages by Tom Taylor. Now I can finally catch up and read this, but it's kind of the pitch is kind of what if in a world where electricity went out forever, how do we kind of move forward, and what does the Marvel universe look like? So I'm super excited to find out what the fuck is going on here. I want to say this is a Stegman cover because I think he's done all the covers, but I don't see his signature anywhere.
This is the way event book should be. One fucking book, 6 issues, done. No crossovers, no additional bullshit to buy. Fun book, stands on its own.
Sure.
I'm just yelling at Marvel if they're listening.
Yeah. Next up, Clay, you want to go next?
Yeah, because you were talking about this earlier. I actually, the Black Label Rogues book I picked up.
Do you have the book in hand, or you want me to pull up a picture?
I got it.
I love the cover. It's so awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of you guys know I love Captain Cold, one of my favorite villains. And this book just kind of takes the whole Rogues team from sitting in a bar 10 years ago to today, and one final big score. Let's get the team back together. So Captain Cold goes and gets his sister. The only people that aren't there. Do we want to say who's not there and why? Captain Boomerang.
It's in the front. Yeah, it's in the front of the lineup. Is in the front of the book. Like who's going to be in the book? So
yeah, because Captain Boomerang isn't there because he's dead. And I was bummed by that because I always felt like I loved Captain Boomerang as a rogue because he's kind of by himself. He's never really a group player. Even when he's with the Suicide Squad, he's pretty much shits on everyone in the team and does his own thing. And Waller knows she can give him a side job and he'll do it and not tell the other team. But he's not in there. But a very neat take on the Trickster. For some reason, the Trickster, because he's such a magician and performer, has had a lot of plastic surgery, and the art shows it. It's really great to see this face that is like manipulated.
Yeah, really well done.
Really well done.
Who's the artist?
They aged Captain Cold really well. I don't know his drawn by Leo Max.
Yeah. They got
why does that ring a bell?
I don't know that name, but
we've read something by Leo Max. Hang on.
I think so.
Yeah, shit, what was it? Anyway, sorry, go on. I'm totally derailing you.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm not talking about the artist enough because the art's so great. It gives me kind of a gritty vibe at times that are the Rogues. And Captain Cold has a great plan, and he's trying to put it together with who he has left and what they're going to do. And they're going to steal from Gorilla Grodd in Ape City.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks it's a bad idea. That's so good. It's just fucking fun. Like, this is why I love books like this. Yeah.
It's going to be a heist book, so if you like a heist.
It's Williamson writing, so he knows these characters. It's Black Label, so they get away with some stuff in the first issue. This is what comics are they are fun. I love this.
All right, Josh. Before we cut to you, I think I have to play this.
I'd sure like to fist him.
But other than your pull list that you went over earlier, do you have any other
Yes.
recommendations?
I do, as a matter of fact, because this is very specific. So apologies in advance. But if you are an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, and actually I can share this real quick. Let me do that.
That's a lot. Xbox
X
So you gotta have an
Ultimate.
Xbox.
Game Pass Ultimate, right? So, which basically it's $15 a month. It's a really, really good service, honestly. If you have Xbox, even if you don't, you get PC games. But they give perks out every once in a while. And the newest perk to drop is 3 months of Marvel Unlimited for free. I just added the app. I'm going to read Werewolf by Night on my...
I don't know if that's a perk.
No, it is. The app has gotten much better.
Well, okay. I do have a question, though. I've noticed because I noticed the app is not just a reskin of the Comixology one like the Marvel Comics app is. I will tap in guided view to switch a panel and it just won't do anything.
No, you have to swipe like a book, like if you're reading the book.
That's what I'm doing. And I'll swipe and then I'll swipe and then and third time or fourth time it'll get it.
Well,
so.
maybe you have your fingers checked. I don't know.
Okay, no, that could be. I could be dead. I don't know. There may be no
You're turning the page wrong. You're turning the page
Yeah.
wrong.
Yes.
Maybe you're a robot and you don't know. So the tablet's only sensitive to human skin.
It makes
As
perfect
opposed to-
sense.
As opposed to whatever compound is covering your body.
Exactly. So, but anyway, I mean, it is free. I plan to blow through a bunch of Moon Knight on here. I'm going to read Illuminati that you guys had brought up, which I'm already 2 issues in. And
Oh, okay. I did see you put 0 and 1. I was like, okay, cool.
I'm enjoying it, but man, they're a bunch of assholes. Like I really, yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. So the Android slander.
I mean, look, I'm an Apple guy, so. All right. Well, before we go on another tangent about my phone versus everybody else's phones,
That's fair.
we want to thank everyone for watching live. We have 100% True, Legoland, Ryan Michael, Leonard Kim was here earlier, Powell, that's my own name, Darius, new reader Joseph, everyone watching. Also our Patreons, Mike Rappin, the I Read Comic Books podcast. Damn, I don't have the list pulled up for everyone else. Neil, Josh at the table, and of course Sabrina, our newest patron. So thank you guys.
Sabrina.
Thanks, Sabrina.
We'll come back probably next week, very likely. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but it should be something.
Moon Knight.
Fun. Yeah, we'll definitely talk at least about episode 1 of Moon Knight. I'm sure we'll see it by then.
Oh, I didn't realize it drops that soon.
Yeah, it drops
I thought
today.
it was still.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right, cool.
Will
right,
I venture out to watch more movies? Who knows?
I have not read one good thing about it.
No one has.
No, I was reading last night. It's just getting savaged by critics. So
That's okay. I if I listen to critics, I wouldn't watch movies.
Yeah, but I even read one that was Jared Leto's mom that said he's still not good in this.
You know what? It's because he doesn't have. I bet he's good when he's got the prosthetics on. That's when Jared Leto shines. If anything, see,
Legoland.
I'm here for a bad Morbius movie. Yeah,
let
yeah,
us
I'm
know
with
if you
you.
watch it. How you like it? If anything, we should have more prosthetics for Jared Leto. I'll pull up some gifs of Jared Leto because I think he's got some fun performances. But other than that, thanks for watching, everyone. All the new viewers and watchers, share, subscribe, leave a comment. All that
We're here
YouTube
every
stuff.
Sunday.
Yeah, we got 10 likes on the stream already. I like it.
Hey, nice.
Doing well.
Thanks,
for the
everyone.
love.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna have more comic reviews and TV recaps, all that stuff coming to you throughout the week. I think that's it. I think we did it. Good job, everybody.
Awesome.
Yay.
I'm
Yay,
very
thanks, guys.
I'm very proud of us. So All right, I'll take us out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And let's get out of
Let's
here.
ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Twitter loves you.
Oh yeah, Clay.
Hell, Bebo.
Josh.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.